Hello learners, welcome to this new lecture of our Revit series. In this series or in this lecture, we are going to learn about the modify tab, like the basic operations that we do in our day-to-day use of Revit. So we are means we are going to deal with the modify tab and the tools that are available under this tab. So let's get started. So here we will have couple of examples. So I'll just begin with modeling few walls here. Okay. So the first one which you are going to see is the move command. So whenever you want to move an element or an object, you can just select this element, and as you hover your cursor over that element, you can see the sign or the symbol of my cursor is changed. Like you can see it's similar to that is available in the move command, and you can just drag that element using your pressing your left key on the mouse, and you can just drag that element anywhere you want. Or else you can select this element and use the move command that is available under modify tab. So either you can select any of the corners or any place on the element. For it's better to use corners as a reference whenever you are moving, or the midpoint that are available whenever you are moving or copying any element. So for now, I'll just use this corner and I want to move this element by 500 mm with respect to that corner. So I'll just type it 500 mm. Okay. So my wall is now moved downwards by 500 mm with respect to that particular corner. So this is how the move command works. Now, if you want to copy elements, similarly, like as you have done for the move command, you need to select the element, and here you have the copy tool. You can use the shortcut as CO, okay, copy. And if you select this multiple, you can go on adding multiple copies of that particular element, or if you just want a single entity to be copied, so select the element, go to copy, then uncheck this one and just copy this element. So the we are means not making multiple copies, so the multiple thing was unchecked here. So if you want this element to be copied multiple times, you can go and check this multiple copies box, and you can have this element copied multiple times. And with the help of the temporary dimension, you can assign any value by which you want to copy the element and place it. For now, I've just typed it out a little bit more dimension or distance, so it's come here down below. So you can have multiple copies as needed. So this is how your copy works. Even you can have the copy in any direction, like if you want it to be horizontal, vertical, or any direction, or even any angle. Okay, you can have the element copied. So this is basic about the copy tool. Okay, so now let's see what align is. If you press align, align is nothing but aligning any face or any like any face of the element to any particular reference. So to use the align tool, we have to first set the reference. I want this face as a reference and this part of wall to be joined here. So I just select the reference first, and then I have to select the face which I need to be present at the aligned or referenced part. So I'll just select this face, and now we can see my wall face, this face of wall has moved towards the reference that I have selected. Another example, if I want these two walls like to be present at this face of the wall, aligned at this face of the wall. So I'll just select the reference and these faces that I need, like sorry, Control Z. Okay. So I'll select this face and I will just select this face. And as we have not used the multiple alignment tool, whenever I select another face, it acts as a reference. It acts as a reference. So if I choose this face again, then it would return back as I have changed the reference. So instead of doing this, being in alignment tool, I'll just check on multiple alignments, and then I will select the reference face that uh, can be used for aligning the elements, and then I can go on clicking multiple elements so that those can be aligned without any additional reference to be given. So this is how the basic aligning tool works. Not even with the walls, you can align anything. For example, I have shifted this wall way beyond the grid line, so I want the center of this wall to be aligned with this grid. So I can do that either by moving or by using the alignment. If you want to move, you have the center line that is visible here, or you need to use the move command, and from here you need to click and you need to place the wall exactly at the grid line. So you have the wall present at the grid line. Instead of this, you can even align that. Use the align tool, use grid as the reference, and select the wall center line or the center of the wall. Okay. Now you can see the center of the wall is aligned with the grid that is available. It works both ways. And now we will move with the trim extend command. So you have, if you want these two walls to be joined at a corner, you can use the trim extend command. So there we have a trim extend command. Use the first element to be trimmed and use the second element to be trimmed. As you hover your element to means hover your mouse to the another element, you can see a preview that is formed. Like this represents the like preview for how the elements are going to be joined. So if I select the second element, you can see the corner is trimmed like this. I control Z it again, and I will just extend this wall further beyond. So using trim extend is bit of confusion, as if you select any part of element that is above or to the either side of the center line of the element that you are choosing first. So if I choose this wall initially, and if I just hover my mouse to the upper part of this wall, which is above the center line of that existing or selected wall, you can see the dotted line is terminating wherever the selected wall center line is present or available. See, you can see it with the dotted preview that is available. So whenever I use this command, the bottom part of the wall is trimmed off, and only the part that was present above the center line of this wall is going to be available in the geometry, and that part would be trimmed. Similarly, the same thing goes whenever you choose the or move the cursor to the bottom part of this wall. So only the portion that is available or that is seen within the like as means under the outline of this preview will be existing, and the rest of this part that is not available with the dotted line is going to be trimmed off, as you can see here. So the trim works this way. And if you don't want this wall entirely to be trimmed, and you want this wall to be at this way, either you can use align or you can use trim extend single element. So if you want this end of the wall to be flushed with this face of the wall, you can use the trim extend single element command. So you want this face as a reference and this element as the portion or part or element to be extended. So select this element. You can see the wall is now extended. You can do this with multiple elements as required. So if you have a single reference and you want multiple walls to be trimmed or extended to it, you can use trim extend multiple elements, this one. If you want to trim extend single element, you can use this. If you want to trim extend multiple elements, you can use this tool. Okay, so what does this tool does? It uses a single reference, and using that you can do multiple trimming and extending of elements at a single time without adding or giving any other reference, as you have seen in case of alignment or aligning of multiple elements. So all you need to select a reference and go on clicking or selecting the elements that you want to be aligned or trimmed, and just flush this corner. So you have the corner trimmed as well. So this is the use of these commands. And now let's move ahead. Like now you will see what is pin. So I'll just pin this element. In order to pin any element, you need to select that element first and just pin it. Now you can see the symbol is changed and a pin like symbol is formed on the element. So now we can see the at the bottom here we have selected pin elements as on. So now if I turn this off, I'm unable to select that element. Even if I drag select anything, I'm unable. I can select any other element that are not pinned, but I'm unable to select the element that is pinned. This is because we have turned off this selection. Like if you turn on this or enable this again, I'm able to select that pinned element once again. So this is the use of this pin select pin elements tool at the bottom here. So, and one more thing, you can't move any pin elements, or like you can see, you will get an error, can't move pinned elements. In order to move, you need to unpin it. You can unpin it in two ways. Either you can select on the symbol to unpin and pin it back again, or else there is a unpin tool that is available. You can use this, and the element is now unpinned. Now you are free to move it anywhere as you want. So this is how pinning and unpinning works. Now let's move ahead. Now we'll look at the split element command. We have two types of splitting. The first one is split without any gap. Now you can see originally there was single wall. Now it's been splitted into two entities, two different entities. and another one is split with a gap. Now, as you can see, these two elements are split and there is no gap here. Now, whenever I use the split with gap, you can see these elements are not linked with each other and there is a gap available here. And one more thing, when I have split these two walls, the what you can say constraint at end of these elements was set to allow, not to disallow. But whenever you use this split element with gap, the uh, split the means the portion that is being split, the either side of the walls, the constraint is turned to disallow join. Okay, now you can see here there is a disallow symbol form. So there won't be any association or continuity present at the ends of these walls. Okay, so this is how the split and split with gap tool works. Now let's move ahead, and we will have two walls here. If I use a different type, let's say, okay, so it's a better practice to make wall joints as it means in order to treat the wall corners. So that wall joints can be done using this tool that is present here, wall joints. So whenever you have a junction, then you need all you need to use this wall joints command and hover to any junction, wall junction that is corner, and left click on it. Then you have three types of wall joint type that is available. One is the butt joint, another is the miter joint, and the next one is square off. You can use this and make the wall junctions or wall corners cleaner. Okay, so this is how the wall joint tool works. And if you want to delete any element, you can use either the delete key on your keyboard, or you can use here, there is a delete option and you can delete this element as needed. And here we have a measurement reference, like this is also a temporary one, temporary dimension. You can use this for measuring dimensions. Okay, this is temporary dimension. And if you want a permanent dimension, you can use this one. There are multiple types of dimension available. This we will be dealing with this part when we are going to see the annotation uh, part of the means when we are doing to deal with the annotation part. So this is basically how dimension works. You need to select the first reference and you need to select the second reference and click on the canvas, and you can have the dimension present. So this is basic about the dimension part. And then let's move ahead, and then we have few more stuff, like if you want this wall to be offsetted or any of the element to be offsetted, then we have an offset tool here as well. So you can use this offset tool that is available here, offset, and select the or hover the element that you need to offset. For example, if I want to shift my wall here, then I need to offset this wall. So I use the offset command. You need to specify the value by which you want to offset the uh, entity or the element that you wish to offset, and just need to hover. And you can see, you can, as you shift your mouse, the preview is formed either on the upside of this wall or at the bottom side of this wall. So you can have the offset to be present on both the sides depending on your preferences. So if you want the offset to be made on the upper side of this reference, so you can have it here, or else you can have it at the bottom. Okay, so delete this one if you don't need it. So in this way, you can even offset the element, and when you have to mirror something, you can even mirror that as well. So I want to mirror these four walls with respect to this wall. So in order to do that, we have two types of mirror. The first is pick axis, and second is the mirror using the draw command. So first one, let's see, pick axis, select the element, and all you need to select an axis above, means about which you want that element to be mirrored. So I want this wall to be flipped here. That is the mirror of this wall along this axis of the available reference wall. So I'll just pick the axis. So my wall is mirrored here, as you can see. The next one is mirror using draw command. So you can use any reference for drawing. If you use the diagonal command, so you can see the mirror is the wall is mirrored with this diagonal as we have drawn as a reference. If you want it as this one, like similar to this one, you can use the draw command. Select this one from this center line of the wall as a reference. So we have this wall present. So when you have multiple elements to be mirrored, you can do that as well. Select the elements and draw the axis about which you need those elements to be mirrored. So this is how the mirroring works. Okay. And the last thing which we are going to see here is the rotation part. So if you want to rotate any element, select that element and select the rotate tool. So now you have an axis that is visible. So if you want the rotation about this axis, so you need to select the straight portion. As you can see here, like you need to align your this visible line exactly pointing upwards and select this, and you need to move the cursor, or like move the cursor in order to place any dimension that you wish to assign to the element. So if you want that element to present at 35 degrees, just type 35 here. Okay, that element would be rotated at 35 degrees, and Control Z again. And again, if you don't want to use this, all you need to specify an angle like for 45, and you need to specify direction for this, like either you want the direction with respect to this side or this side. So I want the rotation from this side, so 45, and I shift my cursor here and press enter. So the wall is now rotated by 45 degrees. You can use the temporary dimension as well in order to make any changes if you want. If you want it to be 60 with reference to the horizontal, but you can use the temporary dimension as well. So this is how basic uh, rotation tool works. There are few more stuff that are available here, which we will cover as we proceed through the Revit series. So don't worry about it. We'll cover everything that is available here. Okay. Now let's modify this a bit. Like we have our model, like I don't want these things to be visible, so I just delete this, and our model is something like this that we have prepared in the previous lecture. So I go to the 0 level, and I want these walls to be present at a higher level. So what I can do, I can select, or the level above this. So I can select everything that is present. I am using Control uh, key and clicking on that element in order to select them, or else what I can do, if I want everything to be selected, I can use the drag selection tool. I'll go on top of this cube, I'll select everything, and for copying multiple elements across the various levels, you can either go to copy to clipboard. Okay, copy to clipboard and paste, align to selected level. Okay, or align to pick level, you can do that. So I'll select the align to selected level, and I want these elements to be copied at level 1. So I'll select level 1 here and okay. So you can see the elements from the 0 level which we have copied are now being pasted at level 1 like this. Okay. And another thing, if you want copy it align to peak level, all you need to do is peak level here. So the elements are now copied. So there was a error. As you can see, there was warning while copying elements. This is because the level to level difference. So if, like you can see here, there was a level difference of, means the level difference between 0 and 1 is 3000, but the level difference between level 1 and level 2 is 2500. So that's why these elements are clashing with each other. Okay, delete this one. But this is how basically the copying works. So if you want those elements to be present at level 2, you can go to level 2 here again, and you can see the upper means these walls are present here. So this is how the floor plan of level 2 looks like, but these are the walls that are terminating there. So there are no walls present at the, means that are starting from level 2 and going above it, because our building is like the levels are terminated to level 2 and there are no levels above it. So there won't be any element that are above this one. So we'll have a 2-story building for our example purpose. So let's modify it. I don't want this door. So you can access the model using the 3D view, or else you can go to the plan view. So I'll just go to my level 1, and you can see if I select this one, that is the door here that can be seen in the 3D view as well. So I'll go to level 1. I don't want any of the external doors present above. And even I don't want this extension of the wall here. So what I can do, I can terminate this here, and I can terminate this here. So let's trim extend these walls, delete instance. Okay. So this is how my upper floor will look like. And I will even change these walls as exterior walls. So in order to do that, I'll just split these walls at the junction or at the face here. So this is separated now, and I can assign an exterior wall to it. And even with this wall, I'll just split it over here, and I can assign an exterior wall to this wall as well. No, it's not split yet. Oh, sorry. I have done it on the level 0 floor plan instead of level 1 floor plan. As you can see, if I hide the floor here or if I hide the wall here, you can see the wall types are being changed at level 0 instead of level 1. So you can just control Z. Okay. I want the wall to be changed at level 1. So I'll just select the wall types of level 1 here, and I will select both of them at a time using the control key, and I will assign them a exterior wall. Okay. So this is how my modified floor will look like. Okay. And one more thing, if you go or take any section here, if I just add another section here, go to view, you can see my walls are flushing and clashing inside the floor. As you can see here, like the wall which you have selected, they are clashing with the floor that is present above. So in order to deal with this, either you can use the join command, joins these two elements. Okay, now you can see. I will just show it again. Whenever you have this kind of situation, there are multiple ways to deal with this problem. Okay. The first one is using the join command. So you can see or notice this element and this element. These are both walls and they are both clashing with the floor above. So in order to rectify this, you can use the join command. So I just use the join command, select the floor element, select the wall element. You can see now the view is cleaned here. The wall is terminated at the bottom face of the floor, but here we have not applied any join tool or join geometry tool, so there is clash that is visible. So you can rectify this with another way, like you can just drag this wall using the gripper or the shape handle that is available here, and you can place that wall at the bottom face of the floor that is available here. Okay. Or else I'll control Z this, and you can use the attach top base tool that is available. So whenever you select a wall, you can see there is an option that is available that we have seen. We have seen edit profile. Similarly, there are few more options that are available. You can attach top base of a particular wall with the roof or a floor that is present at the top end and the bottom end of the wall. For now, we have wall that has floor at the top and a floor at the bottom. So we can have this wall attached to both the floors at top and bottom respectively. So to do that, select the wall, select attach top base. Now here we have to select the target. So we are now focused at the top part of the wall. So you need to select the top wall and select the target for which you need to attach your wall. So our target would be the top floor, and press left click on the floor. So you can see now wall is terminated and you can see the entire floor is throughout and there is no clashing. Similarly, you can do to the bottom as well. So in case my wall is clashing with the floor, as you can see here, you can fix this as well. So go to attach top again. Now, as we are going to deal with the base part, select the base and select the target element. Now you can see my wall is flushed to the face of the floor and there is no clashing. Okay, can even drag this as well in order to fix this. So this is how the joint geometry and the basic attaching of wall to any floor roof element to top and bottom works. This helps in cleaning the model. So that's it for this lecture. Thank you.